BFDI currently has 5 seasons, only 2 finished, and Teapot is on its way to being completed soon. With this, what would a season 6 of BFDI look like? We will go into detail and make a series out of this if this video does well. Before we get into the cast and teams, we need to talk about the hosts. Who would be the hosts? Well, I have some ideas, and I think they're pretty good. What if Leafy and Fiery came back and decided the prize was the dream island that they found? This would definitely happen between the contestants, because I'm sure Leafy and Fiery don't just want to live alone on their dream island. And plus, Leafy and Fiery are very generous. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided they wanted to let more people on. This prize idea is pretty good, and I would say and Fiery and Leafy coming back as hosts and not contestants would be way better, since both have great experience in BFDI. I'm sure their hosting skills would be pretty good, since both are OG contestants who both made the finale in Season 1 and the top 8 in BFB. Next up, we have the cast. I think this season would probably go for 2 teams, meaning the cast won't be 64 or 42 objects. I think this season would definitely have 20 contestants, a callback to the original amount of contestants in Season 1. The picks I'm going to pick are the objects I think have great potential and people who would definitely fit in with this cast. However, I'm not going to include most fan favorites, since the BFDI fandom fan favorites are the worst characters ever, not including Puffball and Coiny, of course. The first person I choose to join the season was Eraser. Eraser seems like a random pick, but people don't realize how great of a character Eraser is. He has immense potential and would be great in a season with Teardrop, especially if they were on the same team. The next person I picked was Lollipop, since Lollipop is an amazing character who people seem to hate for her sassiness, when those same people like Grassy and Rocky. Lollipop has great potential, and the fact she was only in 1 season doesn't sit right with me at all. I also picked Teardrop, since I would love to see her dynamic with Eraser, since I'm going to put them on the same team, spoilers. And I also picked Loser. I know, Loser is definitely a controversial pick. However, he has unreached potential, because he definitely would make for a great villain, and would have some great arcs in my opinion, since there is another character in this season I will talk about later, which will be very important to Loser's story in the season. My next 2 picks are Fries and Blocky. Fries probably seems random to people who don't watch Teapot and just leave it on in the background, because Fries is a great character and was robbed in Teapot 6. He's a great character and needs more screen time with Puffball and more screen time with his villainous personality when he is around Puffball. Blocky shouldn't surprise anyone, because Blocky's a great character who would be interesting to see in a season with people he hasn't seen in a while. My next pick is Bubble. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It might be a controversial pick, but your mom. Yeah, once again, this might confuse some people. However, I picked Bubble because she has a lot of potential for a new arc. Since my next 2 picks are Match and Pencil. Personally, I absolutely hate Match and Pencil. However, they should definitely go through a redemption arc with Bubble forgiving them. But we will get into that later if this series blows up. I can't really stand the fact that the writers just screwed over some of the main characters of the first 3 seasons and demolished their characters. It really sucked. My next pick was Coiny, which is not surprising at all, so I won't really explain at all. And my next pick is Winner, which should have been obvious because it can't be a season again without Winner and Loser. Winner definitely has some potential to start an arc with Loser, and it would be interesting to see Winner slowly be villainized by Loser. However, once again, we will get into that later. My next pick is Taco, which might surprise some. However, Taco is a good character, and people trash on her for supposedly being a Karen. How is she a Karen?
What? No.
Trying to help somebody be a better person is being a Karen? Like what? Anyways, Taco didn't make it far in post-split and definitely deserves to get some screen time. My next picks are Fanny and Pie. Pie definitely needs screen time. And Fanny and Pie are both heavily underrated and both have great potential to be great characters. Both are hilarious and have gone through a lot of development, Fanny at least. Pie definitely needs screen time since she has been robbed in Teapot 1 And the writers keep trying to get Fanny out and Death Pact again, which heavily annoys me. Even if Fanny survived over Remote and maybe Lightning, who knows, I'm glad she did, because she is a great character and deserves to at least get into another season. My next pick is Dora. Yes, once again a controversial pick, but Dora is a great character. She has a lot of missed potential and she can start some storylines, and we can see why Dora was made and why she hates David so much. Who knows what can happen with Dora? People just seem to hate on her because she is like David, however, she's way more than that. The next pick for my BFDI Season 6 is Book. I really don't like Book. However, I think she can go through some changes and redemption this season, similar to BFB when she sacrificed her life for Taco and Ice Cube, which was an amazing way to end the arc. She has a lot of missed potential, and she can become a great character this season. The next object I picked is Remote. Remote getting out in Teapot 5 was definitely a shocker. However, it became apparent that when she was eliminated, nobody really cared about her. However, I think Remote can have way more potential this season, and maybe even get a voice kind of like Boba in Inanimate Insanity 3. Who knows, with Remote anything can happen. The second to last pick is Barfbag. Honestly, I had no reason. Barfbag is just a random character that can just fit in with this cast, but definitely can do something in a season. She's an alright character, but can definitely become more in a custom season like this. And the final pick for this season was a last change adjustment. It was originally going to be Cake, and then I switched it to Clock, and then I switched it to Eggy.
Stop chewing so loud, bro. Leave that little guy alone. The fuck is you gonna do if I don't?
Eggy definitely deserves this last spot, and I think we all know why. She has a lot of potential to be something great. However, people just can't seem to get over VFB6 when she trashed on Clock for losing the challenge for them, which I personally would be pretty pissed at. Eggy can be something great, and I can make sure she is, because this season is going to be different from the rest of the BFDI seasons. This season is going to be a contestant voting. Object shows like Inanimate Insanity 3 do great for contestant votings because it gives the creator time to start and finish arcs and really develop characters. Get rid of characters that are unimportant to the story and get rid of characters that are overall just basic and boring. The next thing I will be talking about is teams. Teams can be really important to the show, and I think great things can happen with rivalries and alliances on each team battling out to survive an elimination. The people I picked for these teams are Eraser, Teardrop, Puffball, Fries, Taco, Coiny, Fanny, Barfbag, Remote, and Book. I think Eraser and Teardrop's rivalry can become an alliance, and they could become a Blocky and Woody type, causing shenanigans everywhere they go. They can work together to cause havoc on other teams and help each other and help their team win. Puffball and Fries and Coiny are here because they all bond well, and Fries' personality when he's around Puffball is amazing. Taco is here because it's interesting to see her dynamics with Book since they are on the same team again. Same with Barfbag and Remote. It would be interesting to see their dynamics with other people, since the only people that Barfbag knows are Coiny and Taco, and Remote only really knows Fanny. Plus, Remote's rivalry with Puffball could be fun too. For the next team, we got Loser, Winner, Blocky, Bubble, Pencil, Lollipop Match, Eggy, Dora, and Pie. Loser and Winner could have somewhat of a rivalry on this team, and it could be great. I think an arc with Loser villainizing Winner and making other people hate him could be an interesting villain arc for Loser. And since it's contestant voting, Loser won't just be out like that. He could have villainous plot armor. The next person is Lollipop. And taking away Lollipop from her friends, Teardrop and Taco, that means she can interact with people she doesn't know, and it will give us some great interactions. The only person she knows on this team is Dora, and the only time they interacted was BFB 1, and at that time they both fought with each other, so that could be an interesting rivalry to see with Lollipop. Yeah, since in BFB you could see Lollipop and Dora had somewhat of a rivalry, taking away Lollipop from her natural habitat could give us some great interactions. The next person that I picked was Blocky. Since in BFB when Eraser, Blocky, and Pen were taken away from each other, they had great interactions with people that they don't know, instead of just interacting with each other. Which is why I am not having Eraser and Blocky on the same team. The next three picks are Bubble, Match, and Pencil. They are all in a somewhat alliance, and since Bubble and Match are on bad terms, their interactions and redemptions could be interesting. Pencil could go back to her IDFB form, personally my favorite form of Pencil, and winning Bubble over eventually, swearing to change. The drama could be very interesting. The next pick was Eggy, since her and Lollipop have some good arguments and interactions, as shown in BFB1 when they agreed on a thing about barf bags' barf molecules infecting her brain, but argued on how it was said. Pie is a great character and can have a nice friendship with Lollipop, since Lollipop and her share the same sassy personality, so they could bond. I think Pie's sassiness would get on Match's nerves, so Match and Pencil could start a rivalry with Pie. Overall, this season of BFDI could be a great season. Lots of development and arc potentials. I spent forever on this video, so any support at all would be appreciated. Just a like or even a subscribe could make my day. If this video does good, I will make a part 2, starting the challenges, interactions, and eliminations.